Guys, so filming from this angle to make it more artistic. So basically what you can realize is that the Geely Boyer actually looks like a very presentable car. I mean, even before they actually converted the Geely Boyer to the Proton X70, already we are able to see that they put in a lot of effort to make the shape and also the face look very presentable. So let me take you for a look at the front. So basically you can see that the headlamp shape and the grille, right, it looks like the one that you can see on the Proton Preview over there. And then for here you get some, I think these are the DRLs that run from this section of the headlamps all the way until here. And or this section you can see that they actually incorporated a Proton wording right there, which is, it adds to the feeling of luxury, something that my Iris also has, okay, the Proton wording. And then from here you get xenon projector headlamps, and then your indicator light is basically located right here. And then below here, oh sorry, you don't get any LEDs right here, but below here you do get a small little light down here. Assumingly this is the fog lamp of the car, okay. And then from this angle, right, if you look at the car from this angle, it actually looks like the previous generation of the Kia Sorento, because basically you can see that the headlamp shapes are very rectangular. I mean, they don't show you any curvaceous lines here and there. But the thing is that for you to drive this car to a hotel drop-off point, right, I think that this car looks handsome enough, okay. And then if you move on to the bottom of the logo, right, you can see a camera here. And if you move on to the bottom of the side mirror, right, you can also find another camera right here. You can find a camera over there. What these cameras do is that they work together to give you the 360 camera functionality. So this helps you if you want to park this car at very tight parking lot. You get kind of like a deep down shape over here. This is the keyless entry functionality. Very mindful of this. Okay, and then you can see that from this point, right, you can observe that they have a chrome lining that runs from here. It goes all the way to the back section of the car, so it ends right here. And for the taillights, right, the taillights, they actually have, quite a luxurious design to it, because basically you get C-shaped or maybe a U-shaped LED taillight bar right here, which in my opinion it looks very futuristic. And then of course you get some LED bars inside here as well. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I counted 5. Okay, and then the badge is over here. So currently you can see that these two exhaust tips, right, they are not fake. What I mean is that you can actually see that inside here, the exhaust pipe, I mean. So, and beside here you get the reflector, which is very good of a design. Okay, and then at this part right here, you get a rear fog lamp, which is made mandatory for most Malaysian cars today. Okay, counting from that part to this part, right, you get 4 reverse sensors. Not bad. Okay, and then imagine like other cars like Mercedes C-Class or what, they give you some exhaust tips, but they are fake. Why? Because basically the exhaust points down, but for the X70 it points right here, which is a very smart design. Okay, so let's check out the boot. And before I show you the boot, right, basically you can see that the reverse camera is located right there. Okay, so you don't get any power tailgate functionalities around, but what you can realize is that the flooring of the boot is actually not very deep. So from afar you might feel like you are not able to put enough of luggage in your trunk space, but fortunately enough, the trunk space here is 520 liters, which in my opinion, if you go for long journeys, a trip of 5 people, I think that the rear space here is enough for maybe 3 or 4 luggages. Maybe 3, I guess. Okay, and then here you get a power outlet socket. Focus camera a bit. Get a power socket right here, 12 watts. Okay, and then top tether there, here as well. Okay, right, and then you get a small pocket. Then this is a place for you to pull out your tray, your covering. Okay, and then you basically connect it at a place right here. So basically, if you close this rear boot cover, what you can realize is that you don't need to worry that your privacy is not there, because basically the cover helps you to cover the whole boot section, so that whatever you put inside whatever they put inside the boot, other people will not see it. And to release this cover, right, basically you put it down, okay, and it goes all the way back into its original position. Right, so let me close the boot on again. There is no automatic tailgate, so I think that this is something that they should add in maybe the facelift version of the Proton X70. Okay, my only complaint, or maybe some of my complaints, is that the lighting of this car, right, they can actually make it a bit bigger. Like, let's say they can extend it from this section, they can pull it down, okay, maybe then they start to angle the light up over here. So I am expecting a tail lamp which is bigger than this size right now. For the Proton logo, right, basically, does this remind you of the Volvo? I think it does. Because why? Because basically you all need to know that Geely owns a few companies right now. They own Lotus, they own Proton, they own Volvo as well. Since that they are related, right, so basically you can see a lot of sharing of designs. So basically in Volvos, of course, you get VO, LVO letterings at the back, and for Proton you get all the 6 letterings printed individually right here at the back section of the car. So I mean, what do you think about the looks? In my opinion, I like the front design. I am okay with the side profile, but my only complaint is the rear design, because I mean like the rear design is not something that makes your eyes feel comfortable. I mean, look at this section, right? Of course you get Proton lettering right here, but in my opinion, your tail lamp, okay, I'm not complaining to Proton, I'm complaining to Geely. Your tail lamp is a bit too small, okay? I mean, it doesn't affect your daily usage, but in terms of looks, right, as I mentioned in all of my videos, our eyes are the first things to drive the car, not our legs or hands. So basically, in your next version of the X70 or your future SUVs, right, look at this section, right, basically you get a very beautiful chrome lining that runs from this section all the way to the other end, okay? And then if you look at the side profile, right, basically the side profile, I don't have much to complain about it. Basically the overall design makes perfect sense, okay? Starting from the front, which looks very aggressive, okay, that's my friend sitting over there. And then if you look at the rims, right, the rim design is about okay, but for me, if I buy this car, right, maybe I would change the rims to maybe some race TE37, okay? And then basically you can see that TGDI badge over there. That badge is trying to tell you that this car is turbocharged and this car is direct injection. Okay. Do you realize there's sort of a plastic piece over here? So let me open the doors and show you what it does. Okay, so this is basically the indicator light. When you switch on your right indicators or your left indicators, that only this section illuminates. But with this car, right, it actually follows the same concept of the Subaru Forester, whereby if you on your right indicator light, basically this light of yours will lit up, and then on the other hand, for the Subaru Forester, right, you get a right indicator shape right here, okay? But for the Proton X70, they make things a bit simplified, so they make a very small indicator light right here, so that it helps other road users to realize your existence on the road. I mean, overall the shape is quite acceptable, but I think that there are some things that I don't like for example at the back, right, I mean, if they want to give it a fastback look, right, why do you make the rear design so angular? I mean, it is so straight, so boxy, that it reminds me of cars from the 90s. Because basically what I suggest is that for this section of the rear, right, maybe they should actually make it a bit more circular, which you can go to, you can look at cars like the GLC Coupe or the GLE Coupe for more reference. Like for the rear, they make it look like a sloping coupe profile. Since they want to design the car like this, right, maybe why not they design the car to have a more boxy look? Because basically, as I came across the salesperson just now, they said that the boot space, right, the boot space is only 520 liters, which I think that if Geely were to make this section a bit more boxy, then that would make it maybe 570 liters. So my only complaint about the exterior design is the back side, but the front and the side profiles are good. So for the tire side of things, right, you can see that it says that GT Comfort SUV 520, and to be honest, I have never seen such a brand in Malaysia before. I mean, look at the tire size. It says it is 225/60 R18, And then for the rim size, right, I think that this rim size is probably 18 or 17 inch. Okay, and then for the rim, right, you can see that they added some effort to put some dual tone designs for the rims. Okay, what else can I talk about it? Okay, and for the logo, right, the logo, they finally deleted the Proton wording, which actually makes it more modern, more on track. Okay, so you can see that the car is a bit dirty. I don't know what kind of surface this car gone through. Maybe they brought it for some off-roading just now or something, but I mean, quite good lah. This car comes with independent suspension, you know, very mindful of them lah. And then over here you can see that they say this has silent tire technology. I don't know how quiet can the tires be, but then again, let's see how it performs on the road. So in the X70 now, and I'm actually very excited because basically this is the best Proton car that Proton has ever sold to the general public, and launching date is 12th December. I don't know by the time I upload this video, will the car be launched already or not? Depends on whether I get to have a data plan to upload this video as soon as possible lah. Okay, so first impressions, the interior is pretty good. It feels like okay, let me sit in the proper position. So right now you can see that this padding here is leather with some stitching over here, very beautiful. And then right here you get an air cleaner, which maybe it helps to clean up our impure air. And then here you get two very generous aircon vents with some chrome linings over here, and then you get another V-shaped detail right here. Okay, and down here you get to open or close your aircon vents. Okay, and then you can see here, right, you actually notice that there are some Chinese sort of wording patterns here. That is to remind consumers that the origins of this car are from China. Okay, which is, I think that this kind of design concept is very amazing. Okay, down here you get two USB ports, and let me on my flash for you guys. So basically this is a place for you to store your phones. If you want to charge your phone, okay, you plug in your phone and then you just slot it here. Very good design. Okay, and then let me adjust my carpet for a while. Right, so being an SUV, right, being a C segment SUV, what you notice here is that the legroom is actually more than good enough. Okay, I think that there are some switches to adjust. Oh no, there are no switches right here. Okay, there are no switches to adjust the front seat, but the thing is that, coming back to the point, this is how much, imagine this, the legroom inside here is so great. I mean, like, I think that this car, this executive spec is maybe 120,000, but the thing is that, imagine this, you know, you get so much of legroom, and to be honest, if you are thinking of buying a Camry or an Accord or a Tiana, right, this kind of legroom you can actually consider for this X70. I mean, you get 180 horsepower, you get it's okay, you get something around I don't know about torque. The torque is about maybe 300 odd. I need to go and check the specifications, which you can check on the internet later lah. So I mean, this is the new age of an executive car, because basically the headroom is so good. No, sorry, the legroom is so good. And then for headroom, right, let me sit all the way back. Okay, for headroom I get about this much. Okay, so now you can see that for this section, right, I feel that, yeah, these are something like leather covered materials. Okay, and over here you get very nice metal finishings. Okay, they feel like metal. And for here you get some white color chrome finishes as well. And for the handle, right, the handle also feels really great as well. Okay, let me show you how the door closes. Okay, so you can see that the doors, they really feel solid. Quality is really amazing. Okay, and right here at this section you get to experience some leather finishings right here, leather covering. Okay, and then for this section over here, plastic is very evident. It says here Proton, but in the higher spec models, I do know that they get Kenwood, okay, in the premium spec two-wheel drive model. Okay, and then at the back, it seems to me that there's no automatic window down or up feature. Okay, and then here the door pocket is quite adequate. I guess that you're able to put enough of things, like you can put your bottles, some mini bottles in here, not very big bottles. Okay, so right here you get some piano black finishes. Sorry about that. Okay, and then here you get a similar sort of white color finishing. Okay, white color surface finish. Okay, this surface feels a bit textured as well. Okay, let's open and see what you have here. Right, so as I mentioned, at the door panels you don't get to put very big bottles, but right here you at least you get to put some of your favorite I don't know, maybe your 100 plus cans, your 100 plus bottles, Coke bottles as well. Okay, and then over here you still get some piano black finishes as well. Here of course you get some materials to hold your bottles or cans in place. Okay, and then there is no way for you to access to the back of your boot space to take some things out, but never mind, because you can see that obviously over here you can straight away stretch out your hands to grab for the things that you put in your boot space. Okay, boot space is 520 liters as the sales girl told me. Okay, which is not very big. To be honest, I've complained that the boot floor is not deep enough, but I mean I am satisfied enough. Okay, and then here you get the center seat belt lap that goes all the way down to this section. Right, so when I was sitting here just now, right, I didn't actually touch the seat belt, but if you are a person of a bigger size, then maybe you would touch on the seat belt there. So you get 3 red color linings over here, which in my opinion they look like the wording tree in the Chinese language. Okay, and then you get isofix mounts on this side and this side as well. Okay, isofix mounts, and then the leather feels smooth enough. Okay, I mean, like, I don't have much to complain about it. To be honest, I do love the execution of the leather. Okay, the seats here are comfortable, to be honest, and I think that assumingly driving this car from JB to KL, the comfort should be more than good enough. Okay, no one has test driven the car yet, I guess, but I think that soon as this car comes out on the 12th of December, I think everyone would take it out on the roads to give it an experience. Okay, let's go to the front seats right now. Right, so we're in the front right now, and then basically this is my friend from Kedah. Right, so basically here you get the power on button. Let's see if we can switch it on, and of course we can't switch it on right now unless we try to start the accessories mode. Okay, and then here the gear lever design, right, to be honest, I think that they over designed the gear lever. Why? Because basically you get some chrome linings right here, but however you somehow get a black color covering over here, which I don't know what is the purpose of putting the black color over here. And then at the back you get rougher grey materials, and then at the back here this is the button for you to release your gear lever. Here, as many of you watch on your other reviewers, right, other people, they have filmed videos about this car, and then they actually talk about this metal holder right here, which in my opinion, I think that I don't know why they have to add this metal holder right here. Like, no one is going to sit in the car holding this metal, no one is going to drive this car holding this metal, so I don't know why they added this feature right here. And then as the same thing in the Previa, you get a very luxurious cover right here, which you're able to put your cups or your bottles right here. You get some materials here to hold your covers or bottles in place. Okay, and then for here you get pretty good textured designs. Okay, and then here you get some chromed out designs as well. So let us ask for my friend's opinion. So what do you think about the design, everything?
Well, I think it's kind of classy, and look at all the silver touches over here.
Yeah.
And the gear knob is kind of interesting, but yeah, as you said, there's some extra
over design stuff, like some extra elements which are not necessary lah. Maybe there should be a reason why they chose different sorts of different mixtures of designs and materials. Maybe for this part, maybe it is trying to cool down, which this is a gloss black finish, and then it is plasticky, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then let's look at the glove box. Okay, to be honest, this design, right, this part, okay, it reminds me of the BMW E90 3 Series. And why is this so? Because you can observe that for this aircon vent, right, the design is very similar to the E90's aircon vent design. Okay, and then let me open the glove box for you to have a look. Okay, and then it hits on my leg. which means that maybe I should move my seat back a little bit. Okay, and I realized that this seat is manual adjustment. Okay, so for the executive, now we know that it uses manual adjustments. And then for here, you get a USB port. Okay, that means you are able to plug in your phone and slot it right here in this cover. Okay, and then for here, materials are plastic. Okay, but I don't think that this is a place where you put your hands on all the time, so I think that plastic materials being applied at this section is alright. Okay, the icon they draw right here, right, it is also very similar to those Chinese wordings. Okay, this icon and also the icon right here, the designs right here, the patterns, they are trying to remind you of the Chinese origins of this car, Jili Boyue. Okay, and I don't know if my friend is feeling bored already or not. Okay, so right here you have the indicator to show you whether you switch on or off your passenger airbag, and then you get some very mindful chrome touches right here, some chrome lines over here as well. And then well, okay, now I need to show you this feature before I go back. I cannot find. Okay, now you can see that for here, right, you actually get a USB port right here. Is it there? No, it's not. Oh yeah, sorry. The USB port is over here. So you guys might be asking, why should I charge my phone all the way up here? Now the reason why they introduced a USB port over here is because of basically you guys want to install you want to pasang your dash cam, you want to put your this and that whatever camera here, for what reason. Okay, but basically connect your cable right here, and then you can install your dash cam at this section right here, or maybe you can preferably put it at the taller part right here to film the traffic conditions. Okay, and then for here, I think that this switch right here, this on switch right here, is basically to activate or to disengage your automatic dimming at night. Okay, so I think that this part right here is for the AEB feature, the autonomous emergency braking feature, which I think that is very good. Okay, I actually find a lighting over here. I don't know, is this lighting to help the dash cam or not at night. Okay, and then for the stock right here, you can see that in China, right, as I know of, in China, people drive on the left side of the road. So what this means is that when you convert the steering wheel and sort of things from this side to that side, what you get is so you can see that the lighting controls are here, and you can see that the signal, the indicator stuff are at the left side as well. So obviously what this means is that on the right side you get your wiper controls instead. So this means that the Jili Boyue or the Proton X70 remains the Proton design language, where indicators and lights are at the left side and the wiper stuff are on the right side. Okay, and then here you get your cruise control buttons, and then at the other side over there you get your volume buttons. Can it focus? Right, you get your volume buttons, your ability to accept a call or something like that. Okay, and then it is a very good design for Proton to finally introduce a proper new Proton logo, because on my iriz, on other people's perdana, basically you get a new logo on the outside, but what happens is that when you go on the inside of the car, right, you get the Proton logo with the Proton wording still, but on this X70 they are so thoughtful to actually delete the Proton wording. Okay, and then for the meter, right, it is a full LCD screen, which is very modern. And then for here, you basically have the stereo system, the multimedia system, where you can use the phrase high proton. And what this means is that if you say high proton, open your windows, your windows are able to open with just a few words that you say to this system. And there's something very special about this system, because basically you are able to speak in Manglish and it understands what you're talking about. If you speak Manglish to other systems like the ones in Jaguar or Volvo, what happens is that maybe they don't understand your Malay surnames. They don't understand your Chinese surnames even. But this system, they engineer it in a very positive way, which I appreciate. And before I go, I just want to tell you guys that in other cars, right, when you convert your steering from the left side to the right side, what happens is that the buttons here, they do not actually do some flipping. Okay, in the W222 S-Class, you can see that the driving modes are still at this side, and then your other entertainment buttons are still at this side. But in this car, what I can see is that the Eco Sport and whatever buttons, they are somehow located here. Okay, and then For the parking brake stuff, luckily they put it at this section, which is very easy for everyday use. And then I don't know what is the auto H or the, yeah, this is the ESC off button, which is, okay, I appreciate the way that they angle this stuff. And here you get some leather materials, which in my opinion this adds to the feel of luxury. Okay, and then last but not least, let me show you the center glove box here. So you get a USB port and normal socket right there. And to be honest, this glove box is not very big, but still I think that the overall quality of this interior is pretty much decent for everyday usage. Okay, right here you can see that they didn't forget to give you dual zone aircon. Sorry, for the 140,000 C27 Nissan Serena, what happens is that you only get a single zone climate control, which I think that if you are able to give it 360 camera, you're able to give it brown color leather seats, why do you forget to give it dual zone climate control? I mean that of course at the back section of your car you have another climate control setup, but the thing is that you make it single zone, people are going to call you a cheap car maker. Sorry Nissan, okay? And then basically you get a lot of things, okay? Maybe I'm going to show you the actual operation when we get to sit in the car when it's switched on. Okay, so here what you can see is that the door pockets, right, they actually make it very wide in a way that you're able to put your small bottle right here, and then you're able to put some name cards over here, I think. Okay, some little name cards over there, and then right here you can put maybe your service logbook or something like that. It is a very mindful design, and then I actually have no complaints of them making the door pocket only from here all the way up to this section, because in other cars like a Honda Civic, right, your door pocket only extends until this section, which in my opinion, I think like if you make it only until this section, right, it makes people complain because basically they are not able to put enough of big items. But you design it all the way from here to here, I think that it is enough for me to appreciate the design. Okay, and for seat comfort, right, the ergonomics of this car are actually quite good, because the footrest area, right, which means this area, I'm able to rest my leg at a very comfortable position. For the Proton Iris that my mother drives, right, the seat is very tall, but the thing is that the footrest area is very into the floor, which means that I'm not able to find an actual comfortable position. But for here, I'm actually appreciating of the interior of this car. And I do realize that you don't get seat height adjustments, but never mind about that. I mean, the leather seats, they're quite comfortable, right? Yeah, they're quite comfortable. I mean, compared to the Vios that we rode here today, the seat comfort here is basically amazing, you know. Let me just show you the seat comfort in a while. So we just asked my friend to fuck off from the car, and then what you can see is that the bolstering, right, the size of this seat is actually very good in a way that you can see that for this part they sculpture it like this. The lower part of the seat, right, you can basically see that they give you a different shape. So what in most Japanese cars, right, this side of the seat, right, the outer part of the seat, they make it straight down, but for here they actually take care of your shoulders, and then at this part they actually they extend it a bit out so that it actually makes your shoulder blades a bit more comfortable. And then right here you can see they added some red color linings, okay, instead of those stupid Martini Racing designs that you get in the Proton Iris right there. Right, so I still don't know why you give a metal blade for no reason. Okay, and then the seats here, they are electronically adjustable lah. So this is actually a very luxurious, thoughtful design of the driver's seat. Okay, and then for the interior, right, to be honest, I want to tell something. I would rather buy this car, if I have money lah, I would rather buy this car instead of the Jaguar F-Pace, because basically for the Jaguar F-Pace, right, everything inside the car, it feels, okay, the Jaguar F-Pace is 400,000. In Malaysia, it is 400,000 plus for the 25T version, but the interior of the F-Pace, right, it feels like 150,000 car. But in the Proton X70, expected prices is around 120,000, something like that. But the interior inside here, right, I can tell that the interior quality of this car, you can see that you get okay, this part is a bit, I don't think that this part is soft touch materials, like the material quality is a bit not so pleasant. Okay, but the thing is that this interior, it is actually better than the interior that you get in the GLA 200, okay, the Mercedes GLA 200, which is, I mean, this is very surprising, given that you get, okay, for this hole right here, Okay, you get another Chinese wording element, which I can appreciate a lot. Okay, and then I think, I don't know, there's light over there. Okay, I think that this interior is not bad. You get a place to store your sunglasses over here. Okay, and then for this part, of course, you get a vanity mirror. Let's see if it has a lighting. Oh no, it doesn't. Honestly, I'm very happy to see how much of effort Geely has made to make the Geely Boyer such a good car. I mean, in Malaysia we call it the X70 lah, of course, but out of 100 marks, right, I am more than happy to give it, I will give this car 90 marks lah, honestly. I mean, for its price point, right, this car is really an amazing car for everyday usage. Okay, that comes to the end of my video, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.